So for our very final illustration of a category, we have Lloyd Reshard. The targeted market talks about being able to hyper-focus in on a specific customer and meet their needs very well. So let me hand it over to Lloyd, and this will be our final one.
Good afternoon, everyone. Let's see. All right, my company is Cognitive Big Data Systems. What a name, huh? We do software for surveillance cameras. Anybody see any surveillance cameras around here on campus? Yeah. Where else do you see surveillance cameras at? Everywhere. So, like, if you're starting a company to write software that, for surveillance cameras, how do you choose the target market you want to go after? It's really a big challenge. So what I want to tell you about the start of my company, it started with a competition like this. And so it spurred me to start the company. Yeah, Brianna, she participated in something, and she got her company started. So the first time I pitched the idea from my company, I went to a thing in Alabama, and folks didn't know what I was talking about. I came back here to the CoLab thing and pitched my idea, and a few people got it. And basically what the idea was, my company is all about using artificial intelligence to understand what the cameras see. And so, but I was really actually interested in doing it for robots. And so like, if you can use artificial intelligence to create a memory thing so the robot can recognize things. So my idea was creating memories for robots. Okay? And then so when I started getting all the mentoring help, they said, well, where are the robots at? And I said, they're coming. but the bottom line was we ended up through some other initiatives, in getting mentoring, we focused on the surveillance cameras since they were right here, right now. All right, and so what's your idea worth? So the first competition, or the second competition I participated in, I pitched my idea, and how much you think it got me? Okay, I didn't win any money, but I actually ended up winning almost $200,000 from support from Microsoft to use their cloud service. Okay, so you see how an idea can actually materialize, and you start off the idea is not worth anything, but as you start working on it, it gains value. And so Robin was talking about our Center for the Innovation Workforce, and that's all about teaching the workforce how to use the AI tools, so you can have an idea and you can use these AI tools to create value, create you a minimal viable product. And that's what that's all about. So like you said, you see cameras everywhere. And the bottom line, 98% of them the video never gets analyzed. And so when I worked for the Air Force Research Lab, which I didn't tell you, I spent my career developing technology for all the smart weapons and how you integrate them to planes, how just so many different things. But we also did research on robots, all the technology for robots. We also did technology for drones, all the technology that goes into the drones. So I had an amazing career. So I kind of know a lot of things that possible. So you as a student may not know it's possible, but based on my experience, I can kind of help you understand what's possible. So with my company, the reason why I named it Cognitive Big Data is because the technology that we use, it actually is cognitive. We did programs for the government where we had robots that we didn't have to program. They actually had sensors on them, and they understood what the robot was looking at. So cognitive is just so you can understand what you're looking at. Big data, so video cameras, the companies we target, they have hundreds and some even thousands of surveillance cameras. So the number one thing our software does, it lets them know which camera has that unusual activity, which camera has something unusual going on that they need to take a look at. And so in you trying to figure out what your target market, I had a lot of options, on an approach that I could use for a target market. So they have video cameras in your home, right? The doorbell cameras and surveillance cameras. So I could have chose to go to that target market. So that was an option. So, but as a startup, I actually didn't want to take that approach. I could have, like another company I saw, they used the surveillance cameras to monitor a baby while the baby is sleeping. So I could have chose that target market. There's so many things that you can actually choose, and so in your target market. So that's kind of what you have to think about. But me being kind of a stubborn and so this neat AI technology, I said, well, I'll go after some of the hardest, biggest problems. So the customers, like I said, the customers we go after, they have a large building complex. Like I did a project over in Poland for the Olivia Business Center, and they have hundreds of cameras at their facility. And so the idea is that with our software, it's just like the cameras on a drone or a weapon. It actually can understand what it sees and react to it in real time. That's kind of what the idea is. So our software behind the camera, it actually develops a memory. So you remember I talked about the robot memories? So each camera has its own memory for what it actually sees. And so like here on campus, certain parts of campus, it's not, the cameras are monitoring that, and it may be unusual for somebody to be running, and another part of the campus it's okay for somebody to be running. So like if, let's say, at this complex, somebody's snatching a purse, but at that complex, people are not running, so our software automatically detects that and sends a video clip to the security person. That's the idea. At an airport, the camera develops a memory for the pattern of activity at the airport. So typically at an airport, you don't see a bag left behind, so our software would generate an alert when a bag is left behind. And you don't have to program it for that. So that's kind of the neatness about our approach. And we can do a lot of different applications. So like if you're having a party, and you got a limit on the number of people who's supposed to be there, but you got a lot of interests. So how do you count the people that are coming in? So you can actually use the cameras to detect the number of people, so you don't get shut down by the fire marshal, or you can stay compliant. And let's say in parking situations, when you're trying to get out of the parking lot, if you got a big complex with 5,000, people working at that place, and backups in the parking lot can be an issue. So our software, we can program it to detect when there's a backup in the parking lot and generate alerts for that. So our approach for a marketing thing was pretty straightforward. So we decided to go after the big enterprise customers, the businesses who manage large commercial and public spaces. So in order to do that, we had to partner with the companies that make the software that manages all the cameras. And so we've been successful in partnering with those companies. And in the AI industry, doing software is a little bit different. So you have to do pilots with potential customers. And so what we do is, in our marketing strategy, we look for opportunities to do pilots for these big enterprise companies. So we had an opportunity to do a couple of those. And as the other thing I didn't mention, as we were building our software, we use the winnings from these pitch competition And so that picture right there was, I had to submit 250 words, and and from that I won $5,000 cash, a year's worth of internet service, a promotional video. It was so much training. It was like crazy. It was over $20,000 worth of stuff for submitting a 250-word idea. Yep, and so the first accelerator program I went in, they gave me $25,000 to help me mature my idea. So if you got a good idea, there's plenty of money out there. And I have they're trying to recruit me to go to, I haven't told my wife about this, so the Czech Republic, they want to fund me to come out there and do a pilot for a big company. Yeah, so, but yeah, there's a lot of opportunities. So don't take the Da Vinci thing lightly, but when you're trying to figure out what your target market is, and sort of my logic was, I didn't want to be out there servicing cameras or hardware or whatever at houses or apartment complexes. I wanted to go on a more of an enterprise level, and where I didn't have to worry about all that hands-on stuff. So I hope you understand there's a lot of different options for picking your market and how you actually get to your market. And so get a great idea and think big, and use these innovation approaches to mature that idea and turn it into a product. And there's plenty of money out there to help you get to where you need to get. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Lloyd. So another one of those Pensacola-based companies you'll be hearing about for years to come. So with that, we encourage you to get registered. The website is open to register for the Da Vinci. It's uwf.edu/CFE. And start thinking about what your big idea is going to be. You have lots of options. You have lots of knowledge here to tap into. And we'll look forward to seeing you next week. And we're going to talk about, if you don't have an idea yet, how to come up with that creative problem solving. How do you come up with an idea? So thanks a lot for sticking with us tonight. We'll see you next week.